DART is based on transparency and understanding, though some would argue that may not be the case. But that's the way that DART operates, and that's the way we need to deal with people. You had a question in the region.
We want to know closer, like sooner than the day before drilling, exactly what we're planning to do. Because I must say, even if I was for gas mining, you don't give me any confidence whatsoever that you know what you're doing.
Well, like Robert mentioned earlier, exploration drilling in Dialadum's not an immediate priority, and it's a few years down the track.
Premier Anna Bligh, Queensland Premier Anna Bligh today announced that there's going to be a 2-kilometre buffer zone outside of where there are more than 1,000 dwellings in southeast Queensland. Now the inner west, and particularly this area, is one of the most highly densely, if not the most highly densely populated suburbs of Sydney. It's not okay to drill within 2 kilometres, not 200 metres, 2 kilometres of 1,000 dwellings in southeast Queensland. Why is it okay to do it here in Sydney?
Because I get it.
For me, it's all about coexistence.
Do you live here?
It's not about me living here or not living here. For me, it's about to what extent does it make sense to have a coal seam gas well in a large industrial area.
It's not a large industrial area. We live here.
My name's Dane Pratsky. I live on the Queensland Western Downs. I live in a gas field. I've come down here to ask you about the blowout of Arrow Energy's well at Dandine. Now, I know a lot of media reports said that the well just exploded. That didn't actually happen. That is a regular process where they remove the top of the well and remove the blowout preventer, and they replace the pump in the bottom of the well. So you need to do that 200 metres away from people's homes. How can you guarantee that that will not happen? And you know the reason it happened because the gas built up enough pressure and it just blew the mud out, which you pump into the well. How can you guarantee that that is not going to happen 200 metres away from this lady's house?
Now, with all respect, that's the same as asking me whether the pilot that's flying my plane tonight can guarantee that.
So that's an acceptable risk for you to run. That is a risk that always happens. When these pumps wear out, which they do over a 2-year period, where you have a workover rig come in, another drill rig, which you haven't told these people around, you are prepared to risk these people's safety.
I don't think we'll be seeing a pump being pulled from this hole at St Peters.
Because it's an exploration well. But when you move into full production, which you are pushing for, otherwise you wouldn't be doing exploration wells. So let's go from exploration to production. Guarantee these people's safety.
We're not stupid.
No, and nor am I, but I'm an exploration geologist. And we're talking about exploration tonight. We're not talking about production.
We are!
You said that it was important that the community were involved, and you said that if the community accepted this, that it would go ahead. Now, the other side of that is that if the community say we do not want exploration because we do not want production, and we feel this is all far too close to our homes, do you accept the other side that you would not go ahead if the community tell you we don't want this?
No, because that call isn't ours. Now, I think there are a couple of people sitting in the front row here who would vouch for the fact that the mineral ownership of New South Wales is vested in the Crown.
And there's no royalties.
No, I'm sorry, there are royalties. There's a schedule of royalties.
I'm very concerned about methane gas. I'm very concerned about climate change. I'm very concerned about these little children's future. Methane escapes from your drilling. Methane goes into our atmosphere, and it's a damn sight worse than carbon dioxide.
Everywhere I've been, I've seen dodgy practices, I've seen exploding coal seam gas wells, I've seen polluted water, I've seen practices that these guys would be proud of, and I don't think it's sustainable.
One of you said that you need to know what's under the ground. Well, with all due respect, the community here is actually worried about what's above the ground. Yeah. Our homes, our communities, our schools, our parks and so on. Well, the community is saying, you know, your boss has just flown out of here. Well, we can't fly out of here. Yeah. This is our homes. These are our schools. And there's no damn way you're going to start drilling our communities before such an inquiry. And the third thing is an absolute ban on fracking. Not a, we don't intend to frack, not a, oh, we don't particularly want to frack. If we support those demands of the Sydney Residents Group, a moratorium on gas seam mining, a royal commission, and a ban on fracking, we should indicate that to the company. Please raise your hands. And I can tell you that no matter what you come up with, the community is going to rally, and we're going to be rallying out on September. And you need to actually listen to the community about what's above the ground, be more worried about what's above the ground than what's under the ground.
Drew Hutton said something recently, and that was, in the last days of fossil fuel, we cannot let coal seam gas lash out and destroy whole regions of communities. And that's what this is about.